Hello and welcome everyone, this is Kyle from your media show today to talk about things you missed in the short film Majora's Mask Terrible Fate made by Emberlab here on YouTube. Now first off, before I say anything, you need to go over and watch this animation now and subscribe to their channel while you're at it without any hesitation. And yes, this animation really is that good. From a pure physical standpoint, this animation looks amazing. There is so much detail in every little thing you see, and it definitely brings out the atmosphere exactly how it needed to be, considering the background of the game and its story. The story they portray definitely stays in line with what Nintendo shot for in the original game itself, so it really is a true dedication. And again, please go and check out their channel, they have some amazing talent. Alrighty, now that we got that out of the way, let's get this video started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the beginning of the video, in which it describes the feeling of the Happy Mask salesman after the Skull Kid took a mask while he's sitting there on his organ or whatever under the clock tower. Now it does technically reference this in the video itself, but it may not be obvious to everyone, especially people who don't know the actual story, so I feel it's definitely worth mentioning. This should help clarify the sequence of the animation itself. The second thing is, if you look closely at the hands of the Skull Kid, you can depict a symbol of some sort. The symbol actually represents that of the Kokiri Emerald, famously known object you receive in Ocarina of Time. The symbol is also found on the Deku Shield, as well as the doors in Forbidden Woods in Wind Waker, and the doors of the Forest Temple in Twilight Princess. The symbol isn't really significant for what's played out in Majora's Mask per se, but it does aid in clarifying that this is indeed the same imp from Ocarina of Time, and that the stories do interconnect. So the third thing I want to tell you is something that some people have noticed, but others may have missed in the animation. At the part where the Happy Mask salesman is walking through the woods, you can clearly see a Mario mask. Now this isn't something that differed from the game at all. In fact, the salesman from the game itself does have a Mario mask. Granted, it might be a little bit different on the spot on his bag, but whatever. But I'll be honest, throughout my childhood, I never noticed that he had a Mario mask, so it was very interesting to me when I found out. Now, the fourth thing you might have missed is at the scene where the Happy Mask salesman is gazing at the mask. He gets subsequently crippled. We see the Skull Kid walk over and pick it up, only to later appear to be forced by the mask to put it on. Now that alone seems very straightforward, but you have to look a little bit deeper as to what just happened. And what I'm talking about here is that the mask has a very well defined and narrow selection of who will be the bearer of the mask, and therefore its hidden power. This definitely brings up the question derived from this story. Why did Majora's Mask not select the Happy Mask salesman himself to wear it? What disqualified him? What did it see in the Skull Kid to select him? It could be that the Skull Kid appears to be very vulnerable when it comes to his mental and emotional state. When we see the Skull Kid sitting next to the tree, he appears very shaken, lost, alone, weeping almost. That is until the two fairies, Tettle and Tail, come along and cheer him up in what seems to be a relatively short amount of time. So it could be that, but again still makes you wonder why not the Happy Mask salesman. But theorizing like that isn't what this video is meant for, and we can save that for another time perhaps. And number 5, after the Skull Kid puts on the mask, he goes into this sort of frenzy, assumably because of the control caused by the mask. We can clearly hear a different voice for the shouting from Skull Kid at this point, but at the last moment before it fades to black, the animator throws in the original screech of Majora alongside the human-like yelling. Again, just another small thing that some people might have not noticed. And that's all I've got for things you might have missed in this animated short. You already know that I absolutely love this animation, but I really like to hear what you guys had to say, so go ahead and leave a comment below. There could have been things that I missed, so comments and other videos can help fill me in if I did. But as always, thank you so much for tuning into this video. More content is always on the way, so if you subscribe, it can help you keep on top of it. And if you liked the video, leaving a like is really appreciated. Or if you disliked it, let me know by hitting that dislike button. This is Kyle from your media show signing off. Have a better than average day, and take care.